This tutorial will help you with some suggestions on how to complete your outline. When you look at a blank outline, sometimes it is really intimidating and people have a hard time knowing where to start. My suggestion is to not start at the beginning. Start with the thesis statement. You should have already written your thesis statement, and that's a really good place to fill in now, and then that will help you keep your focus on what it is that you're writing about. So fill that in first. Secondly, take a look at your body paragraphs. How do you want to address your thesis statement? For some of you, if you've created a list thesis, you oftentimes have three main topics that you want to cover. So that makes your topic sentences easier to write. So you will write your topic sentence considering what it is in that paragraph that you would like to address. What evidence are you going to present for that specific topic, and how are you going to analyze it? So go through each of your body paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5, and write your topic sentences. The next step is to take a look at your evidence. Your evidence is what should come directly from your resources. So if you've gone out, you've done your research, you have found some reliable resources, and you know that you want to include some of the pieces of evidence to support your ideas on that particular topic, this is where you will include those. Your evidence might be a quote, it might be paraphrased information, or it might be summarized information. In any of those cases, you're going to need a citation. Do not forget to include this in-text citation, which is why there's a reminder here to help you do that. Once you've finished your evidence, go ahead and move on to your analysis. For some people, this is the hardest part, but you want to think a little bit about why that evidence that you have included supports your thesis. How does this piece of evidence help you determine that your thesis is correct? And so it's your ideas, your opinions about your evidence. However, do not include things like, in my opinion, or I think, or I believe. Those are phrases that you want to sort of exclude anytime you are writing in a formal situation. From here, you have a pretty good idea what each of your each of your paragraphs are going to contain. So then I would go back to your introduction and decide what you want to include in the general information section. This couple of sentences, maybe 2 or 3, is there to help you introduce the main idea of your topic. Consider that your readers maybe have no background in what it is you're writing about. So what do they need to know before diving into the rest of your paper to be able to understand what it is that you want to talk about? So give them some background, provide some history, give them some general knowledge so that they understand where you're going from here. Then you can go all the way to the top and take a look at your hook. Your hook is what is going to draw your readers in. You want your hook to be interesting, intrigue your reader right away, and make them want to continue reading. If you start boring, your readers are not going to want to continue. So make sure that you are starting with something that is interesting. And luckily at this point, you'll have the bulk of the rest of your paper figured out, so you can decide what is it that I have not written about or I have not included yet that would be a really interesting way to begin my paper. Then you'll go to your conclusion, and your conclusion is going to basically remind your readers what it is that your thesis statement is about, and then you'll answer that so what question. What's important about this topic? Why do I care as a reader? How does this relate to me in the real world? So think about some different things that you can do here to help kind of wrap up your entire topic. And then a couple little last details. One of the things I would suggest is that in between your paragraphs, you consider transitioning from one to the next. Sometimes that could just be a word. Sometimes it's a phrase, and sometimes it's a complete sentence. But think about how you can help your reader go from one idea in body paragraph 1, for example, to the next idea in body paragraph 2. that helps your readers to transition. It's a little bit more sophisticated way of writing, and so you want to include that as often as you can. From there, you have a basic outline, and your rough draft, if you do a good job on this outline, should be pretty easy to complete. So take the time here. Don't rush through this step. It's a really, really important part of the process. It will force some organization in ways that you may or may not already organize, and it will set you up for success in the next few steps of the writing process.